Well, good afternoon, my friends, on this fine Sunday afternoon. It is June 25th, 2023, and my name is Karen, and you have reached the NeedleBugg. If you're new here, welcome. I am so glad you decided to click on this video and give us a try. And I do hope you find something that you like and enjoy. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for coming back for all the craziness that seems to happen here. And if you're a VIP member, what can I say, guys? You all know how I feel. Thank you so very much for being a VIP member. And I appreciate all your love and support and encouragement and all the good stuff. So I guess you're wondering, what are we here today for? I don't know why my light isn't turning on. Hold on. There we go. That's a little better. What are we here today for? Oh no, I fell down a rabbit hole. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I was in one of the Hardanger groups. So this, folks, is going to be a bit of a different stitch with me. I will tell you right up front, it is not going to be cross stitch. Even though that's normally what you see here, today it's going to be a bit different. On one of the Hardanger groups, I saw this beautiful, beauteous piece. It is a tablecloth, and it is out of this world gorgeous. And it happens to be in this book. Turn that light down a little bit so you can see it. There we go. It happens to be in this book. Now, this is a Japanese Hardanger book. It is called Delicate, I believe it's Delicate Border Hardanger by Sadako Totsuka. I can't even pronounce these words, but I think that's what it is. Sadako Totsuka. It is wonderful. The patterns in here are out of this world. What drew me to this book was when I saw well, let's see if I can hold the book. When I saw this. Is that not out of this world gorgeous? I'm really toying. I am really toying with doing it. Would that not be such an heirloom piece? Now, the lady that stitched it said it took her 5 years. Oh my. That's my drawback. But, it is so darn beautiful. There, that's a better shot of it. So darn beautiful. What I'm toying with is maybe just the center square instead of the whole thing. But I think, should I decide to go this route? And it's really nagging at me, ladies and gentlemen. It really is nagging at me. I could start with the center square and progress from there if time permits. Yeah. It's gorgeous. But that's not what I'm going to stitch on today. I thought, okay, Karen, let's do something smaller than what we've done Hardanger-wise in the past. And I saw this beautiful piece and went, oh, would that not be great to do different filling stitches in. Oh, would it not be wonderful? So I decided that I needed a bit of a palette cleanser. And today would be, or for a little period of time, would be to work on some Hardanger. Because I'm kind of losing my mojo in the cross stitch and I need something a little bit different for a while. So, are you all laughing yet? Going, we knew you'd do something different. Are you thinking this is a real riot? So I started. And to make it really, really different, I'm going to move my camera in here and show you what I've done. And then we're going to stitch along a bit. And as I'm stitching, I'll tell you my plans for it. So let's there we go. Let me get it into, there we go. Now I have a little bit more done than this. Okay. So let me take this hoop off and let me zoom you out just a little bit. And hopefully I won't lose the focus too terrible. Okay, so this is what I have started so far. Okay, so this is the middle. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3 big peaks, 2 small peaks on each side. So it normally would be quite a bit larger if I was doing it on a different fabric. But okay. The surprise, not that you're going to not be surprised. What I'm stitching it on is, let's see if I can clear this up just a little bit for you. Oh, that's going darker. Oh, that's going darker. Oh, geez. I would love for you to see the variegation in this, but no, it looks like it ain't going to be happening too much as I play with the controls. Oh, that goes darker. Oh, that's a little better. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. That's more true to the colors. Okay. Now, can you guess how crazy I am? Because I know you're going to say you're nuts. The craziness is this is 40 count. Yes, you heard me right. This is 40 count Alba Maxima linen. And I'm using 12 weight sulky thread. So I'm using, I can't remember the color names, but this is color number 4022. And I will put some accents in with 1096. So those are going to be the colors. I'm thinking that I don't think it really has surface stitches in it now that I think about it. But I'm thinking the cluster blocks will be in this darker color, and this lighter color will be some of the filling stitches. Again, up to be played with. So those are the colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So my stitch along today is going to be to entice some of you to jump down the rabbit hole with me. Don't have to work on this particular one, but if you'd like to, let me bring this a little closer to me. Oh, I thought I heard thunder. A little closer to me so I can see it to work on it and stay in the frame for you. Maybe just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. It's all about comfort here. And yes, I am working this in a hoop. I have my clip-on cheaters so that I can see it. But what I'm going to do is work the cluster block border, and this will give you an idea too of how I stitch. So remember, the blocks are 5 satin stitches. Let me see if I can come up here a little bit. There we go. 5 satin stitches, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, and 1 specialty fiber in there. We're not going to tell you what that is. Over 4 threads of fabric. So now we're going to do one this way. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes these linen holes get, when you're working with linen, some holes are bigger, some holes are skinnier, and you sometimes have to. Ooh, thunder. It sounds like we're getting a thunderstorm. I was 1 thread off. So I need to fix that. I know a lot of people do the stick and stabbing when they work Hardanger embroidery. I prefer to sew. Just because I think it flows better. So I can tell you folks, this is not going to be a long video. Just wanted to share a little bit of what I'm doing. Okay, something didn't look right, but hold on. I believe that it is. I don't like that there. That just doesn't look right. So if it doesn't look right, this is what you do. You just pull it out. Because methinks it's either a kink in the thread or do you see what I did? Oh no. I guess it was just a kink in the thread. See, I can tell you what it is. My needle, I don't know if you can see it. My needle was at this spot. And it was probably at that spot too long, and it started to wear the thread. So in order to fix that a little bit, this is a little trick you might want to remember. If you twist it, it will put the twist back in the thread, at least long enough for you to lay that stitch. If it keeps thundering, that will cut this video a lot shorter. There. Now it looks better. And that same trick works with pearl cotton. You know, we all have the tendency to want to make our threads way too long. And when you start getting to the end of your pearl cotton, what happens is it's untwisting. And then your shine goes away and it doesn't lay as nice. So just as you untwist your embroidery floss to so it doesn't kink up on you, twist your pearl cotton so that it does twist up, and then it will lay nicer again. And yes, even with these magnifiers, I do struggle a little bit, but I do have an eye doctor appointment coming up, so that's a good thing. And this is all just an experiment because I really wanted to see how this sulky thread works up in using it through this. 40 count, I could use linen thread, and I have linen thread. I haven't quite mastered it yet because for me, what happens is it gets, and it might just be something that I'm doing, but it gets kinks in it. And then it doesn't want to lay right for me. And it's probably, I just need to use it a little bit more and practice. And I have not done that. So yes, oh, I missed a hole. To answer your question, Fred is waiting in the wings. And he won't get forgotten. But you know, I haven't done a lot of Hardanger over the last few years. And that piece just really, really caught my eye. So I had to buy the book. I had to buy the book, and I really am seriously considering. And I'll tell you what, it will take a big chunk of fabric, a very big chunk of fabric. I'm thinking like 1.5 yards by at least 1.5 yards. Somewhere in that general neighborhood. But we shall see. And for those of you who are waiting for Yvette Stanton's new book, she is still working on it, the last I heard. She has released the cover. So if you go on my diagonal stitching group, you can see the cover of the book. You can pre-order from various places. I think Needle in a Haystack is one. for sure that I know of. I think Amazon has it. There were a couple others. I can put it in the drop-down box of places that she was fairly certain are going to carry it. So if you're in the US, that will save you some shipping, because to have it shipped from Australia is a little bit of a chunk of change. And of course, you have the weight of how long it's going to take to get here. There is that. So I think the last tentative release date for the entire book, because she is still working on it, will be in early 2024. But I can pretty much assure you it is going to be a book worth waiting for, because really what it's going to be, or what it is pretty much a dictionary of all the filling stitches that can be done. You know, and some you're going to be familiar with, some you're not going to be familiar with. But it will be a collection of all the filling stitches that, well, at least ones that she's aware of. So I'm very excited for the book. I'm looking forward to it. And that's the thing in this piece that I'm working on. It uses different filling stitches. It looks like it uses spider webs, and that's the thing. It is printed in French, so I can't read it. But just by the diagram, it looks like a dove's eye and a square all in the same opening. It has picots, it has wrapped bars, it has yeah, all kinds of different ones. So this would be a good piece to experiment with different filling stitches, if that is something that people wanted to do. I mean, and the basic outline is really just very much like on the same principle as the Mary Hickmott sampler. It's just, you know, diamonds. I'm going to call them diamonds or squares all put together on one piece in rows, and the rows go, you know, like 3, 4, 3, 4, or 4 or 3, 2, 3, 2, however you wanted to arrange them. And if you wanted any kind of a border in between them, pretty simple to design your own pattern. Ooh, what did I do here? Ooh. Miscount. Hold the phone. Okay, I think I need a new thread anyway, so yeah, this will be the last block for this piece of thread. But when I'm not talking, this does go rather quickly, and it is rather rhythmic. Now, I would not suggest a beginner to do it on this fine a fabric. And I would not suggest, well, I guess I did in the past, but That whole thing is wrong there. I don't know so much as I'd recommend 22 count Hardanger fabric either. I'll tell you why. For the simple reason that I personally think it's too clunky looking, too chunky. And if you like a more delicate look, then you're going to want a finer count fabric. So my go-to has always in the past been either 28 or 32 count, because that gives you a more delicate piece. But that's just me. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think if you're just starting out, the place that I would start would be with a 25. In all honesty, I think it will give you the nicest piece that you'll be happy with the look. Because like I said, but then again, some people really like 22 count. And remember, it can be done on any even weave fabric. Just because 22 count says Hardanger doesn't mean that you can only use that. Like I said, this is a piece of linen. So you can use 22 count, or you can use 25 count linen. You can use Davos. You can use Jobelin. You can use Lugana. You can use Edinburgh linen. You can use Newcastle linen. You can use whatever your heart desires. However, I would not recommend that you try it on Aida cloth, because you are not going to have a good result, because that weave is different. What you need is a weave that looks like this, a single thread. So, but don't be afraid to experiment with different fabrics. And like I said, this is 12 weight sulky. So again, an experiment. Traditionally, pardon me, Hardanger was done on a very fine linen with linen thread. And linen thread comes in different weights also. So there's that. And like I said, I have not quite perfected the technique with linen thread, but this I am rather enjoying. The other thing, if you're going to do this count, like 40 count, and you're going to use pearl cotton, I would do everything in size 12 pearl cotton, or frog, or do your cluster blocks in size 12 and do your wrapping with embroidery floss, maybe one strand of embroidery floss. Or there's other tatting cotton is another very fine cotton that's out there. So, you know, you can play around with fibers. If you feel so inclined, you could do it with, what did I do here? Okay. You could do it with silks. You know, you can play around to find what you like. Like I said, traditional is linen with linen thread. But modern Hardanger is pretty much fair game for whatever you want to use. Do you see how it becomes rather rhythmic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this is the last one already. Then I get to go the other direction. So yeah, when you're doing these blocks, you can go there rather quickly. And you guys are probably thinking, ooh, how am I going to cut that? Well, we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, it is very fine fabric, so it's going to take some very fine scissors and some lots of concentration in order to, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, in order to cut, to do the wrapping. But we'll get there. Now, the other thing I was going to do different with this is they have, well, the designer has a cluster block edge out here, and then this is cut work. What I'm going to do is not do the edging with cluster blocks. I'm going to do a lacy edge instead. So I will also be changing that. So again, keep in mind that charts, patterns are just a guide. You can change whatever you want and make it your own. So yes, I'm going to use this as a guide, and I will be making changes along the way, and we'll see how it gets. Now, I did think about, I'm not going to stay on too much longer because we're still having thunder. I did think about doing a regular stitch with me as I work on this and progress on this so that you can follow along with everything. If you want to start a piece of your own and stitch with me, that would be wonderful. If you want to cross stitch while I work on this, that would also be wonderful. But here it comes. If there's interest, I think I will be doing a little more stitch with me's in this technique. You know, there aren't that many Hardanger videos out there on the internet or YouTube. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd like to branch the channel out into also including that in what I do. So let me know if there's an interest. And as I stitch, I can explain what I'm doing, and you can see how I do it and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I am working on a design. It's not ready yet. I should probably stitch it before I hand it out. And I'm toying with how I would want to do that. I have several options that I thought about, but I have not decided on any one in particular. I did think about doing it as releasing one part every week. Very similar to what iStitch Designs does, where you pay a nominal fee and then you get a part each week for so many weeks. Or I thought about, okay, you get the whole chart, and then for a small fee, get included in the stitch along and have meetups to stitch together. I don't know if anybody has any ideas. Please let me know. Because, you know, and some people say, oh, well, why isn't it free? There's a lot of work that goes into coming up with the design and charting it and putting it out there. So that would be why. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And that's time I'm not working on maybe things that I would want to be working on. So that being said, so, okay. So we did a little bit here. We finished down here. We went this peak. We went up this peak, and now we're here. This will be 9 cluster blocks down here, and then it will start to do this side. The next, oh geez. Let me zoom you out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so see, we now have one more. There we go. We now have this side completed. So now we'll start down this side and we'll just work all the way around. And yes, I do the outside edge first. And yes, I hope and pray that it matches when I get there, because I should be, but I'm not a baster to put basting lines in. Never have. I've been fortunate, but I never have used them. So, yeah, I don't think I will this time. But yeah, this is only going to be about, well, let's see. Let's go out a little more. Yeah, this is only going to be about this big. And then with a lacy edge on it. So, yeah. It'll be a lot of work in a very small area. So we'll see. We'll see. But I find it to be rather relaxing because it is so rhythmic. And I do enjoy doing it. So you may just, well, no, you probably will see a few more videos on this with some cross-stitch ones interspersed. Okay, so with that, my dears, it ends up more than a little bit more time here than I thought it was going to be, but I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions or you want to know more about Hardanger embroidery, let me know, and I will be happy to answer your questions. So until next time, my friends, just remember, there's no rules in cross stitch, but there are rules in Hardanger. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next time.